Hello, my name is Mariana Durango, and today I am going to talk about pride and prejudice. Okay, let's start. This book talks about an ambitious mother who tries to get married her daughters with richest men as conveniently as possible, no matter what she has to do. In this history, the 5 daughters and their mother lost most of the riches because their father died. But Mrs. Bennet was very excited to hear the new arrival of a new single boy with considerable fortune, called Charles Bingley, with his best friend Fitzwilliam Darcy. She wanted he get married with one of her daughters, and he fell in love with Jane, the oldest daughter. She was sick with pneumonia, and Elizabeth Bennet, his daughter, take care of her, and Fitzwilliam Darcy saw her, and they fell in love. But with the pass of the time, they lived to another part for a long time for the attitude of her little sisters. And Elizabeth was very confused and sad. But this relationship therefore dominated by prejudice, attraction, passion, and anger. But everything changed when he sent her a letter to explain his attitudes and actions. And Elizabeth saw that he was a very good man. And when he came back, they get married and live in Pemberley. Now I'm going to tell you about the characters. The principal characters of the fantastic book are Elizabeth Bennet and Fitzwilliam Darcy. And with them come the family Bennet with all of your members. The first is Mr. Bennet. He is a male head of a household. The second is Mrs. Bennet. Mrs. Bennet is his whiny and rude wife. They have 5 daughters. The first daughter, called Jane Bennet, is the oldest one. She has 23 years old when the book starts and is the most beautiful of the daughters. The second daughter, called Elizabeth Bennet. The third daughter, called Mary Bennet, is seriously not attractive but is really intelligent and an intellectual people. The fourth daughter, called Catherine, but all of people call her Kitty, is older than Lydia. She is jealously vain and materialistic. And the final daughter, is called Lydia Bennet, is very innocent, flirtatious, and reckless. Is the youngest one, and when the book starts, she has 15 years old. Other characters are Charles Bingley, and he is the best friend of Miss Fitzwilliam Darcy. Is outgoing, extremely kind, and rich. Then we have William Collins. Is devout, open-minded, and flirting. Then George Wickham is Mr. Darcy's enemy. Is handsome and charming. Then Mr. Hortz is ignorant and ambitious. The other is Charlotte, Elizabeth's best friend. Georgina is Fitzwilliam Darcy, little sister, and Lady Catherine is rich and is Fitzwilliam Darcy out. Okay, this history was right in 1796. It happens in 18th and 19th century, and it transcurs in a small town near London. I really recommend this book because it's really interesting. You can read the actions that the characters do. You can feel the emotions that the book transmitted, and you can compare with the world. Why? Because right now the world is like this book, have mystery, ambitions, passions, and prejudice. This book gave me a second chance to believe in love. Why? Because after I read this book, I feel that love is a feeling that although one phrase say, Each person in this world has his or her half. There were many people who didn't have the luxury to find that other half, so well awaited. And the most likely would never experience that beautiful feeling called love. But before I read this book, I realized that everything is possible and it's an adventure that everyone can live. This is the book, Pride and Prejudice. My favorite phrase that I consider that is the most interesting is, it's a worldwide recognized truth that a single man, possessor of a great fortune, needs a wife. Why? Because it means that the love can pass all tests and challenge social prejudice. Thank you for your attention.